guys don't know how to do it.
Officer, come in and close. Serving people close. Here. I need the bullhorn.
Proud of you, Laura.
Hello, everybody. My name is Loomer. I'm a conservative investigative journalist, and today I'm...
Hey, you're gonna hurt someone. You're gonna hurt someone. You're gonna hurt someone. Stop. We're not trying to... Stop.
Take that down. You guys don't know how to do that. You guys don't know how to do that. You guys don't know how to do it.
Officer, come in and close. Serving people close. Here. I need the bullhorn.
Proud of you, Laura.
Hello, everybody. My name is Loomer. I'm a conservative investigative journalist, and today I'm here at Twitter in New York City to talk to you about social media censorship and the double standard that exists here at Twitter. Jack Dorsey at Twitter banned my account permanently on November 21st. I am a conservative Jewish journalist, and I was reporting facts. I was reporting facts about an Islamic congresswoman, facts about Sharia law, and now I am banned as a journalist permanently from Twitter. There's a double standard here, and everybody needs to be aware of this. As you can see on this side, that's Louis Farrakhan. That's a tweet posted by Louis Farrakhan. And on this side, that's the tweet that I was permanently banned for. Let's take a look. Louis Farrakhan's tweet was, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite." My tweet was, "Isn't it ironic how the Twitter moment used to celebrate women, LGBTQ, and minorities is a picture of Ilhan Omar? Ilhan is pro-Sharia. Ilhan is pro-female genital mutilation. Under Sharia, homosexuals are oppressed and killed. Women are abused and forced to wear the hijab. Ilhan is anti-Jewish. As a Jewish woman, I stand before you today wearing the Jewish star that the Nazis made the Jews wear during the Holocaust." What Jack Dorsey is doing with his egregious double standard by allowing for verified, hateful liberals and leftists and jihadis to spew their hate and violence on social media while banning a Jewish conservative journalist like myself and millions of conservatives all across the country, he's trying to stifle speech in this country and ruin what makes this country the greatest country on the planet. And that's our First Amendment right, our right to free speech. It is egregious that nearly 70 years since the time of the Holocaust, we are now starting to normalize these. To think that even after the Holocaust, a Jewish journalist is banned for posting facts about individuals who preach hatred towards Jewish people, who call for the killing of Jews and Christians, but they allow for jihadis and radicals and people like Louis Farrakhan to post, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite." Well, what do you do when you have a termite infestation? You call the exterminator. He's obviously invoking Hitler, right? He's obviously invoking Hitler, calling for the extermination of Jews. He's calling for the extermination of Jews. Yet for Jack Dorsey, Louis Farrakhan's tweet in which he said, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite," that was not a violation of their terms of service. So here I am physically handcuffed to the door of Twitter. I am physically handcuffed to the door of Twitter because Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg and many of these other multi-billionaire CEOs of these left-leaning big tech corporations, they want to silence me. They want to shut me down. And I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving anytime soon. I'm not going away anytime soon. You are not going to silence me. This is not just about me, though. This is about the millions of conservatives who are censored and silenced on social media every single day. I'm going to read to you a couple tweets that Jack Dorsey has allowed to stay on Twitter. Would anybody like a copy? I have here thousands of examples of tweets that are still on Twitter today, from verified liberals, verified Muslims, verified anybody who isn't conservative, right? Spewing hatred, saying things like, "I'll admit it, I hate white people. Fuck white people. Goddamn white people are the worst. Kill all white people. I'm not anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite." I mean, this is all still on Twitter. All of these tweets right here are still on Twitter. Jack Dorsey won't remove those. According to Twitter, it's okay if you want to preach hate against the Jews. It's okay if you want to preach hate against white people. It's okay, according to Jack Dorsey, if you want to preach hate against conservatives, right? You don't get banned for that. That's not a violation of the terms of service. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist like myself exposing these people, these leftists, or if you are just a conservative in general, you'll be silenced, you'll be shut down. You'll be silenced, you'll be shut down. And I'm here today, and you can see the back of my sweater, to tell Jack Dorsey to stop the bias. Stop the bias of conservatives, Jack Dorsey. Stop the bias of conservatives on your platform. Stop the bias all around the world, Jack Dorsey. Millions of conservatives have been shut down and censored. Our brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom have to fear for arrest. They have to fear that they're going to have their doors knocked down in the middle of the night if they post wrongthink. If they criticize Islam or Sharia, they fear, just like Tommy Robinson did, when he simply wanted to raise awareness about Muslim rape gangs, which was well documented in the courts, and then the police knocked his door down, they arrested him, and they sent him to jail. They sent him to jail where he was starved, he was tortured, and he was abused by Muslim gang members. They intentionally put Tommy Robinson in a prison cell next to the people who he was trying to expose on social media. And he had to endure all of this punishment and torture, human rights violations, because our social media companies, Twitter, Facebook, Apple, Google, Instagram, they are essentially upholding Sharia. Silicon Valley is essentially upholding Sharia when they decide to ban me for posting facts about Islam, when they decide to ban me for posting facts about Sharia law or criticizing an anti-Jewish Muslim congresswoman. This is America. We have a United States Constitution, and Sharia law is completely incompatible with our United States Constitution. And here I am, physically handcuffed. You know, if Jack Dorsey wants to come outside, I want to know, I would love to know, Jack, why it's okay for people to say things like they want to assassinate President Trump. I want to shoot Trump in the head. Fuck white people. All white people are racist. God, can someone just shoot Trump already? I mean, why is this allowed on Twitter, Jack Dorsey? I want to know how that is hate, how that's not hate speech, but my tweet up there, isn't it ironic how the Twitter moments used to celebrate women, LGBTQ, and minorities is a picture of Ilhan Omar. And I had a sign here that I wanted to show you guys, but Twitter confiscated it. So already, here in America, you know, I have a right to protest. I have a right to peacefully protest here. And I can't even protest because even on the outside, Jack Dorsey is sending his goons to confiscate my sign. I want to know why Jew hatred is okay at Twitter, where Louis Farrakhan could essentially call for the extermination of Jews, just like Hitler did. But then a Jewish journalist is shut down simply for reporting the truth. I want to know. I want to know. And he won't give me back my sign. There you can see my sign right there. There you can see it. So for all of you watching, you know, you need to be aware of this egregious double standard here. And I'm not going to leave, you know. I'm here today to stand in solidarity with the millions of conservatives all across the world who have been silenced and censored by these big tech corporations, by people like Jack Dorsey and people like Mark Zuckerberg simply because they're conservative, right? Silicon Valley is trying to regulate speech. They're trying to destroy our First Amendment right. And I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave. You know, Jack Dorsey kicked me off Twitter, but here I am, literally locked to Twitter now. So what are they going to do about it?
Hi, Laura. I'm Danielle, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that you will stay trained to Twitter? Do you think they will arrest you? What do you think is going to happen from
Well, the
this?
police are showing up right now, so I don't know. Maybe I will get arrested, but I'm willing to go to jail, just like Tommy Robinson went to jail. You know, I'm willing to go to jail to fight for my country, to fight for the rights of the millions of conservatives all around the world who are being censored and controlled and manipulated by people here in this building, by people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, who think that they can silence people like me, silence people like you, silence anybody simply because they don't agree with what we have to say.
Do
right?
you think that you were the most radical person on Twitter who, you know...
No, look at my tweet and compare that. Louis Farrakhan posted, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite, and then he wasn't kicked off Twitter, but then here's my tweet. Isn't it ironic how the Twitter moment used to celebrate women, LGBTQ minorities?
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi, officer.
Hi. Are you protesting?
Yeah, Twitter.
Let me stop you 1 second.
Yeah.
So you're being recorded just like you guys are recording me?
Yes.
You cannot block the door. You could stand
Well, they can come
from
out.
that part. You must move from the door.
Well,
It's not a request.
I'm handcuffed.
You have keys. I suggest you take them off.
You can try taking them off. I don't know if they're going to come off.
Tape the key thing or whatever. What happened is you come take them off. On yourself. You understand? You're
Yeah.
going to end up getting arrested if you don't remove it.
You guys can film. Just step
Step
back.
back, please.
I'm not going to remove the handcuffs until, you know, until Jack Dorsey reinstates me on Twitter.
You gotta put like you gotta call an issue or something. That's great. Well, tell me why you're here while we're sitting here, man.
Well, Jack Dorsey permanently banned me on Twitter, and as you can see, I'm just a Jewish journalist, and he banned me simply because I was exposing Jew hatred and anti-Semitism and speaking out. I was speaking out. It's okay. You know?
All right, you're still
Do
speaking
you
out
guys,
now, and
do
you're
you
still
guys
doing
think,
your
do you guys
message.
think it's okay for terrorist organizations
You know what?
like
Twitter
Hamas
isn't
and
the
Muslim
only thing for
Brotherhood?
media. Like the other day, what was the guy who had a problem with the president's press
was
credentials?
all
owned by the
It's
same.
a better
I
way
was
for you to
banned.
do that than
We're all
change
owned by
yourself.
the same
It's
group.
okay.
And you're still getting your message out there now, right?
I don't want it on.
Excuse me, sir. Just move back just a little bit. You can still film. That's not a problem. No problem. Just a little bit. Thank you.
Then just call your issue.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's like something you could do with a paperclip. We just have the issue. Sit back.
I'm not taking these handcuffs off. I want to know why Jack Dorsey permanently banned me on Twitter for hate speech, but he won't ban Louis Farrakhan. I want to know, Jack Dorsey, why? How is it that calling out Jew hatred, homophobia, and women's abuses under Sharia law is hate speech, but Louis Farrakhan, the leader of Nation of Islam, is allowed to tweet, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite? Is that your policy at Twitter, Jack Dorsey? Do you have a policy that it's okay to call Jews termites, but that Jewish journalists like myself are not allowed to report the truth? I had 265,000 followers, and now I Dorsey during the congressional hearing on social media. And I called him out for his censorship and shadow banning of conservatives. And I warned President Trump, please help us before it is too late. Because the Democrats want to steal the election, they want to sway the election, and they're going to accomplish that by getting people like Jack Dorsey of Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook to silence us on social media. Every single week, prominent conservative influencers like myself are being shut down on social media. Every single week. First they came for Chuck Johnson. Then they came for Milo Yiannopoulos. Then they came for Roger Stone. Then they came for Alex Jones. Then they came for Gavin McInnes.
They're ashamed of it.
Then they came for Tommy Robinson. And look now, even at Twitter, they're still trying to censor our speech. They're still trying to censor our speech. They're still trying to censor our speech and take away my right. They don't want to answer. They don't want to let me know why Louis Farrakhan is allowed. That's my property. Leave it there. They banned me on Twitter, and now you're trying to actually steal my tweets in real life. Wow, that's incredible. You shut me down on Twitter, and now Twitter is still trying to steal my tweets and censor my speech in real life. That's my sign too. Does somebody want to pick up that sign and show everybody what it says?
I have her permission.
That's my property, sir. This is a human rights issue. And it's egregious that the NYPD is standing here trying to protect a Jew hater, Louis Farrakhan, you know? And you're not going to listen to this. You know, this is an abomination that here in America, here in New York City, where, you know, we had the World Trade Center attack. Muslims killed 3,000 people here on 9/11. On October 31st of last year, a terrorist used his car, he was a driver for Uber, and he killed 8 people. And I don't understand it. I thought people in America learned their lesson about the implications Sharia law has on 9/11 here in this city. But now Twitter, they want to help enforce Sharia in Silicon Valley by silencing Jews like myself, silencing Jewish conservatives like myself, while they protect vile Jew haters like Louis Farrakhan. How come that is not hate speech? How come that is allowed on Twitter? I want to know why that is allowed on Twitter, but my tweet, and you can show them, how come that tweet got me banned? I want to know. I want to know why in the year 2018 here in America, the land of the free, where we supposedly have free speech, why a Jewish journalist is not allowed to be on Facebook or Twitter simply because they report the truth about Sharia law. I want to know. I want to know why Silicon Valley is giving a pass to groups like Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood, CARE, designated Islamic terrorist organizations who all have Twitter and Facebook pages. How come terrorists are allowed to be on social media, but a Jewish journalist isn't? I want to know.
How come oppressive Jews constantly kill Palestinians daily? How come?
Whoa. Who sent you here, Jack Dorsey?
No, I'm Palestinian. My mother and father were deported under the Patriot Act simply because they were Palestinian. You know, you're one-sided.
Why do you think that as a Muslim you deserve to have more free speech rights than I do? Why?
I'm a human being.
Why? Why as a Palestinian? How come on Facebook and Twitter, Hamas, which is a designated... You're a Palestinian. Are you here? Will you say that Hamas is a terrorist organization?
No, I won't.
No, you won't, because you support Hamas. Just like Ilhan Omar supports Hamas and refused to disavow Hamas when I asked her. So this is the problem here. We have people like this individual who's in front of me right now who are just like these representatives, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, who have refused to condemn Islamic terrorism. You have people like Linda Sarsour and Louis Farrakhan who advocate for jihad and the death of Jews. The death of Jews, and they call for Sharia, and they are allowed to use social media. But I am not. There is something seriously wrong with that. There is something seriously wrong in this country. In this country, when terrorist organizations and jihadis and people who are sympathetic towards terrorists are allowed to have free speech, but a Jewish journalist isn't. Is Twitter anti-Semitic? Does Twitter hate Jewish people? I want to know. Did you know
That's intelligent.
Are you aware
to
that
yourself to a door and speak on a
the
megaphone?
Saudi billionaire,
One-sided,
Prince
not allowing anybody else to speak?
Al-Walid bin Talal
You know,
has
there's a lot of
more
victims. Who's
Twitter
speaking for the
stock
dead
than
people?
Jack Dorsey.
You know,
He doubled his take
can't
of
tell.
Twitter stock in 2015.
my brother was killed.
So that's
I'm
right.
not speaking for him.
A Wahhabist Muslim man, a Saudi billionaire, owns more Twitter stock than Jack Dorsey. That is why I have been banned. I have been banned because Silicon Valley agents like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg are bowing to these Saudi billionaires. They're bowing to this Arab money. And what they're doing is they're now enforcing Sharia blasphemy laws.
Have you read the Sharia law?
Yes, I read Sharia law, and I know Quran chapter 5 verse 51. It says, oh, don't have the Jews and the Christians as your friends. It says to kill them. I am very well versed. Yes, it does. This Muslim man, this Palestinian man, is trying to tell me that Quran chapter 5 verse 51 does not tell Muslims to hang out or be friends or befriend Jews and Christians. Can somebody please Google that so that we can read you? Because that is Sharia law, and that is the message that
I'm a Hafiz, ma'am. I know the
Jack
Quran.
Dorsey is sending when he bans Jewish journalists like myself. That would allow for jihadis like Linda Sarsour, Ilhan Omar, Louis Farrakhan, and others to be on Twitter.
Farrakhan he's not a Muslim.
I brought thousands of examples with me of verified hate. You can go on Twitter today and type in #verified hate, and you can see for yourself. You can see for yourself thousands of examples of tweets, assassination threats towards President Donald Trump, threats to kill white people, threats to kill Jewish people, terrorist threats. All of this is allowed on Twitter.
Yeah, because you have freedom of speech.
But a Jewish journalist, I don't have freedom of speech.
I'm not.
How come these people get freedom of speech but I don't?
How come you don't? Why don't you?
Don't let him distract you.
You say she's one-sided.
5,000 people.
Doesn't allow
Laura,
somebody to
10,000 people are on Twitter cheering you on, so don't let him distract you.
I am here today. This isn't just about me. This isn't just about me. Jack Dorsey banned me, and yes, a lot of people know who I am because I had 265,000 followers, but this isn't just about me. This is about the millions of people around the world, millions of conservatives who are being censored by social media companies every single day. This is about the millions of hardworking Americans who have been banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook permanently without any reason other than simply because they are conservative, simply because they are a Trump supporter, simply because they decided to call out Sharia law or expose Islam or talk about jihadis in our government. That should not be a bannable offense. I want to know why the terrorists and the jihadis and the Jew haters are allowed to spew their actual hate on Twitter.
Are you with us?
No, I am not.
All right. Who's not with us?
I am just one of few. They banned me.
This guy?
They banned Alex
Who else is
Jones.
with you?
They banned Chuck Johnson. They banned Milo
So just you two?
Yiannopoulos. They banned Roger Stone.
Folks.
They banned Gavin McInnes, and they banned Tommy Robinson. And you're next. They're going to come for you next. And if we allow this to keep happening, if our members of Congress don't do something, if they don't pass some type of legislation before it is too late, there's not going to be anybody left to speak out for conservatives. There's not going to be anybody left to stick up for the Jews. There's not going to be anybody left to call out Sharia and jihad, because we will have allowed for these social media corporations to take control of the digital public square so that they can enforce Sharia and ban conservative wrongthink from the internet.
Jack is going under investigation.
And Jack Dorsey, who I of course confronted during the congressional hearing when I called him out for being a liar. And you know why? Jack Dorsey is a liar, because when our members of Congress asked Jack Dorsey if he censored conservatives, he said no. Mark Zuckerberg said no. Sheryl Sandberg said no, they don't do that. But you know, all you gotta do is go watch the Project Veritas videos. All you gotta go do is watch James O'Keefe's investigation that he caught them on camera literally targeting conservatives, admitting that they're going to shadow ban and censor conservatives. They were even caught on camera talking about how they targeted me. Because of my views on Sharia. I was unverified over a year ago because of my views on Islam, my views on Sharia, and calling out jihadis who killed 8 people here in New York City. It's out of control. It is out of control. But Jack Dorsey committed perjury when he lied to those members of Congress, and they let him get away with it. And it is time to put a stop to this. We need to stop the bias. We need to stop the bias because we are not Russian bots, right? We are not hateful individuals. We are not Nazis. We are not racists. We are not bigots. We are just conservatives. And this is America, and we have a First Amendment right.
Who else has been banned?
I never would have thought that as a Jewish conservative woman in this country, as the granddaughter of a Jewish man who was arrested by Nazis in Germany, I never thought that there would come a day where I would be permanently silenced on the internet by Twitter and Facebook simply for exposing Jew hatred, for exposing Sharia. I never thought this day would come. I never thought this day would come that we would see rising levels of Jew hatred, that we would see even after 9/11 and the horrors of the Holocaust, people giving into this, giving into Sharia, right? Allowing for jihadis and leftists who call for the assassination of our president. That is a crime. It is a crime in America to call for terrorism. It is a crime in America to call for the assassination of the president. But every single day, Democrats get away with it.
Not against the bill, then? I guess they've been on the barrel.
Start. Look at these. Look at the papers. See them for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Share my message, you know? This is political warfare. Look at these tweets. Look at all these tweets. All of this verified hate that is allowed on Twitter. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist like myself and you dare speak out about Jew hatred or the Islamification of this country, you will be banned. This is Twitter, you guys, where Jew hatred is okay, but if you're a nosy Jew, you're banned. I am not going to stand by and allow for people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg to continue silencing millions of conservative voices. It is unacceptable. This is America. This is not the Middle East. We should be upholding our First Amendment right and not allowing for the enforcement of Sharia blasphemy laws.
There's a lot more people here telling the story again. A lot more people.
So Laura, what do you think was most incendiary about your tweet that got you banned?
I don't know. My tweet obviously is just a fact. I mean, I can read it right here. It says, it's on the back. You see it? They took my sign away.
It's here.
Can you bring me my tweet, please? This is the tweet that I was banned for. You tell me, officer, does this look like hate speech to you? Does that look like hate speech?
No, you just get your message out. I'm here for.
I know, but I would like you to know, as an officer, is this hate speech?
That's what I'm here for.
You know, were you here on 9/11? Did you respond on 9/11? Did you see the horrors of Sharia and jihad? Did you see that? Were you here on 9/11?
You're not going to get any other answers from me. I just need you to get the cover.
Right. I find it unbelievable that in this day and age, in this city, here in New York City, Twitter and Facebook and Google and all of these big tech companies that line this sidewalk, you walk down the street, you'll find Google. All the big tech buildings are here. They are enforcing Sharia on Silicon Valley. And every day, people are wondering, why do I get shut down on social media? Why am I getting banned for posting facts about Islam? Why am I getting banned when liberals are allowed to call for the assassination of President Trump? It's just insanity. It makes no sense. Something must be done. We cannot allow for the normalization. And Mark Zuckerberg, we just can't. They're trying to influence our elections. In fact, big tech corporations like Twitter and Facebook have colluded to interfere in U.S. elections more than the Russians ever did. More than the Russians ever did by shutting people down. Did you know that Twitter shut me down a week prior to the midterm election because I was exposing high-profile leftists and jihadis, and my video investigations were so effective, I caused the Women's March to ask Linda Sarsour, who is a jihadi, a verified user on Twitter, a verified jihadi on Twitter, right? She gets to use Twitter, I don't. My video forced the Women's March to disavow Linda Sarsour and ask her to step down. And then a week prior to the election, I was suspended. And I wasn't allowed to, as a journalist in this country, put my political reports out.
So Laura, what are you hoping will come of your protest today? What do you hope will happen as a result of this?
You know, I hope that everybody can see that this is egregious. Regardless of your politics, I think that we can all agree. Someone please grab that. I think that we can all agree, if you show the comparison, who has the fairer country. That if you get banned for this in America, but you don't get banned for that, well, the only thing I can think of is either Twitter hates Jews, Facebook hates Jews, right? Or they're biased against conservatives. So what is it? Why are you allowed to? Why is it that a Jewish journalist is getting banned? A Jewish conservative journalist is being banned from Twitter for posting facts, but then Louis Farrakhan can post, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite, Hitler was a great man, advocating for jihad, and then he's still on Twitter. He hasn't even been suspended from Twitter. Feel free to take copies, you guys. Before it's too late. Before it's too late. Why did I handcuff myself to both?
Why didn't you? They're still giving you.
Well, I'm not trying to trap them inside the building.
It's a fire hazard.
You know, that's a fire hazard, of course. But the issue here is that Jack Dorsey thinks that by banning me as a Jewish conservative woman for pointing out Jew hatred, I was defending women, I was defending gay people, I was defending Jewish people from bigotry and from hatred, from homophobia, from anti-Semitism, and I got banned. But that anti-Semite, that Jew hater, Louis Farrakhan, is allowed to. You know, so Twitter thinks that they can shut me down, but look at how many people are listening to me now. They may have banned me from Twitter, but now I'm handcuffed to Twitter. And look at all of these people all around the world who are now hearing my voice. Jack Dorsey will not silence me.
Hey guys, I'm going to ask you to step across the street at this point. Miss,
I
know you have to step across the street, please.
Millions of conservatives around the
guys,
world.
need you to step across the street, out of this, off the sidewalk, please. Back across the street onto the sidewalk, please.
Why aren't we allowed to be on a sidewalk?
Well, here's why, problem, man, because we don't know what this is right now, so we're asking you to step across the street till we figure this all out. So we're going to ask you to step across the street at this point. Okay, sir? Need you to step across the street at this point onto the sidewalk, please. Can I stay in the street? Because we don't know what's going on right now, so once we figure it out, that's why we have the sidewalk closed. So I need you to step across the street, please, onto the sidewalk.
It is. It
Hold
used
up.
to be public, right?
Guys, put them on, how do you put them onto the sidewalk, please?
Guys, do us a favor, you do that in the sidewalk. Ma'am, in the sidewalk. In the sidewalk.
We're not citizens. We're American citizens.
Guys, in the sidewalk, please.
Headquarters, so we cannot ask for questions.
Guys, your foot on the sidewalk. Thank you.
So we're waiting over here. See what happens now.
Welcome to Twitter. Welcome to Twitter in New York City. Where if you call for Korea, you advocate for jihad, you're allowed to have it. If you want to call out genital mutilation, homophobia, and Jew hatred, you will be banned. You will be silenced. Welcome to Twitter.
out there. She's crouching.
On November 21st, 2018, Laura Loomer,
Very hard.
journalist with Confronting
And on 9/11,
less than 24 hours later. In another example of collusion by big tech giants to censor conservative voices.
back to
The tweet that Twitter decided to ban from the light source was a tweet full of facts about Syria. It was a tweet directed at Ilhan Omar, a duly elected congresswoman, a public figure, which pointed out that her support of Sharia does not make her an ally for these people, Shemites, or Jews, as Twitter would like you to believe.
What about the people who are just coming to work on 9
Twitter
to
claims to have a term of service that outlines what behavior is and isn't appropriate. But it is evident they selectively choose how to enforce their rules.
He doesn't want to talk.
Let's look at who else was banned. Popular, influential, conservative and libertarian voices, including Chuck Johnson, Marlo Yiannopoulos, Roger Stone, Alex Jones, Dennis Newman, Tommy Robinson, John Blondolo, and now myself, Laura Loomer. You know what Milo said about my stance? He said, it's not how right-wing you are. What matters is how effective you become. The more people you preserve, the more hypocrisy you expose, the bigger the target you become. That's why I was the first to go. And that's how you know this isn't accidental. It's political warfare. Right now, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Apple all think that this should be stopped. But that's not true. If constitutionalists stand together and united, we can stop all of this censorship. If we don't allow for both sides of the political spectrum to be heard, we will quickly become a totalitarian state. This is how pirates win. Not with screams and bloodshed, but with compliance and silence. Despite being banned by Twitter and Facebook,
It's a very
I'm going
serious
to
symbol.
I now have accounts on 12 free speech sites like Gab, Minds.com, and BitChute, which will host all of my videos. And I still also have my YouTube channel. Well, for now, until YouTube decides to ban me soon. I have also now, after yesterday, filed hard-based class action lawsuits that include many other conservatives and libertarians who have been banned and silenced by big tech, while we allow for leftists and jihadists to get away with much worse offenses, including death threats against President Donald Trump. On November 28, 2018, Larry Klayman, the former federal prosecutor and founder of those judicial law district laws, amended the anti-drug class action complaint he filed for Freedom Watch against left and social media companies who focus on Twitter, Facebook,
Sir,
Apple, and
I don't mind you filming, just for your own safety.
Sure.
I'm with you. Yep, not a problem.
Were agreeing among themselves and acting as a monopoly to restrain trade and discriminate against conservatives. This is what Larry Klayman had to say on filing the amended complaint. Added as a state plaintiff today was Laura Loomer, a courageous Jewish female journalist who was just banned by Twitter and Facebook for criticizing a Muslim congresswoman. The retaliation by Twitter and Facebook as set forth in the amended complaint was not only a violation of our antitrust laws and other laws, but rates of anti-Semitism against the Jewish conservative woman. Ironically, the CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, is a card-carrying member of the Jewish left. And as a self-hating Jew, of course Mark Zuckerberg would sell out his own people for a buck.
Why will Laura Loomer not speak up about the Deadspin Awards happening December 5th at Irving Plaza? You can find tickets at http://www.deadspin.com. That site again is http://www.deadspin.com. www.deadspin.com.
Nice.
Do I need the S on the HTTP?
Yeah, for anybody who missed it, is http://www.deadspin.com to buy tickets. Open bar, December 5th. Why will you not speak up about the absolutely stacked category of Best Athlete Meltdown? We have Draymond Green and also over John Rondo and Chris Paul. And then there was a guy at LA Fitness who called 911 at a pickup basketball game.
Take a look.
Deadspin Awards, http://www.deadspin.com.
Anti-black racism, anti-Jewish pro-Islamic terrorism, and assassination of President Trump. All of this has been allowed on Twitter. Jack Dorsey has allowed for all of these threats and calls for assassinations against the president to be on Twitter. But then he wants to ban conservative Jewish journalists like myself or just conservatives in general. I don't know. I don't understand why this is acceptable. What would happen, officer, if somebody were to make a direct assassination threat against President Trump? They would be arrested, wouldn't they? They would. So why is it acceptable to allow all these threats? You might want to take a look at them. You know, these are people who need to be investigated. Many of them are verified liberal journalists who live here in New York City. But they get to get away with it. If you're a liberal in this country, you're a leftist, or if you're a Muslim, you get to say and do whatever you want. But if you're a conservative or if you're a Jewish conservative, you'll get silenced, you'll get censored, you'll be shut down for telling the truth.
Mobilization point is 210 East 33rd Street. Missing is a male black, 10 years old, named Jahin Aiken. Date of birth 7/23/2008. Last word dark blue, black coat, black sneakers, black pants, black line.
No, we need to stop the bias, you guys. We need to stop the bias. Just like I told Jack Dorsey during the Congressional hearing. We need to stop the bias of conservatives on social media. And if you're listening to this feed, wherever you are around the world, make sure that you do hashtag stop the bias. Stop the bias, and you call these people out. And you demand from your congressman, and you demand from President Trump that something is done about this. It is unacceptable that in America, right, in the current year, that conservatives are being wiped away from the internet for posting facts, for simply having an opinion. They want to have an echo chamber here at Twitter, full of leftists, violent liberals, and jihadists. That's what they want. And this isn't just about me, you guys. This is about all of us. You know, we need to fight censorship. The First Amendment in this country allows for you to say what you want, whatever you want, as long as you are not inciting violence against anybody. And we all need to stand together, regardless of our political ideology, and fight to protect our First Amendment, to fight to protect free speech. We need to. We have a duty to call out this egregious double standard. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that this is allowed to happen here in America, where Jewish journalists are banned for calling out jihad and homophobia. I was sticking up for gays. I was sticking up for women. I was sticking up for Jews and Christians. And I was banned. I was banned. You know, this is a human rights issue. This is a civil rights issue. Silicon Valley is enforcing Sharia law.
Certain use.
I would tweet about this, but I'm banned from Twitter. You know, all of you guys are probably on social media right now, but I can't even use my social media. I can't post this on Twitter.
On my way back to the office, I was informed that not everybody heard the URL, so here it is. It is http://www.desmond.com. The reason that I provided the http:// is so before the older computers or older models of phone. Once again, it is http://www.desmond.com. You can find everything there. It's going to be a great time.
You're rumouring Twitter! Laura, you're rumouring Twitter!
Yeah.
We're all going to be there.
We'll all be there. One of them will not be there. Be any more incentive to be there. I also get to speak about the Desmond Awards, which is happening next week.
It's the whole point of what she's
Please
doing,
do not
idiot.
silence me about the Desmond Awards, which are very important. I want to out for truth.
I don't understand why, like, all these tweets of verified hate are allowed on Twitter, but when you're posting facts about Sharia law, you get banned. Why are you allowed to say things like, I hope somebody shoots Trump in the head, or I hate all white people? Why are you allowed to say stuff like that on Twitter, but then if you're a Jewish journalist like myself, you get banned? Something is seriously wrong on Twitter and Facebook, all of these companies. Why are you allowed to call for the assassination of the president and not have your account taken down, but then you're banned and you're censored if you're a Jewish journalist like myself? Why are conservatives being shut down for posting facts, but you're allowed to post any of these hateful tweets? Why are you allowed to say kill all white people? Why? Why is that allowed?
10 Adam 1 on here. 10 Adam 1.
You know, it's really disgusting. Somebody's going to get hurt someday. You know, Twitter is allowing for all this hateful speech to actually be spread throughout their platform by verified liberals and jihadists and leftists, but then they're banning conservatives for posting facts and opinions.
Font still on here. 10 Adam 2, you're still on a 51?
Stop the bias. Take some papers, guys. Learn about something, because you too will be next. Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg are going to steal your free speech and shut you down next. You know, this isn't just about me. This is about the millions of conservatives all around the world who are being silenced and having their rights abused. They're being shut down. They're being deplatformed everywhere on the internet. People sitting behind desks, liberals sitting behind their desks in Silicon Valley are determining the futures of people with the click of a button. They're banning you from doing banking. They're banning you from having a voice. They're banning you from using Twitter. They're banning you from using Facebook, from using YouTube, whatever it may be, simply because you're a conservative or because you call out Sharia or jihad. You know, this is wrong, you guys. This is wrong. Why is it that I get banned as a Jewish conservative journalist, but Louis Farrakhan is still on Twitter? Why? I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-Semite. Why, Jack Dorsey? Why is that allowed on Twitter? You know, and maybe the mainstream media will finally do their job and report about this egregious double standard, because conservatives are being targeted. This is an act of political warfare. The Democrats in Silicon Valley, they're trying to silence our speech so that they can win elections. They are protecting terrorist organizations like the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas, which have verified Twitter and Facebook accounts, but then they're banning people like me, Jewish conservative journalists, simply because I expose Jew hatred, homophobia, and abuse against women.
Tell them how you feel, Laura.
know, how is it hateful to stick up for Jews and gays and women? I don't understand.
Are you going to stay out here all night, Laura?
As long as it takes.
Hell yeah.
As long as it takes. Hey, I threw away the key, and I'm here for the millions of conservatives who have been censored by Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg. I'll be here as long as it takes.
Are you cold?
Yeah, it's pretty cold outside. It's like, I don't know, 35, 40 degrees, but that doesn't matter. What matters is our free speech, right? We need to protect our right to free speech. Facebook and Twitter are now the digital public squares. Everything takes place on Facebook and Twitter. And to just decide one day that you're going to ban an entire group of people from the internet because you don't like their opinion, that's egregious. You're cutting off nearly half of the country from participating in dialogue on social media simply because you don't agree with them. And you know what? They say that there's no bias, but I really want to know. You know, you saw my tweet right here. What was hateful about it? Why is Louis Farrakhan still on Twitter? Does Twitter hate Jews, or is Twitter biased against conservatives, or is it both?
Keep going.
I want to know. Stop the bias. Stop the bias, Jack Dorsey. And look, you know, I'm here at Twitter, and I brought these tweets, comparisons. My tweet that I stand for, and Louis Farrakhan's tweet, which is still up on Twitter. He has not even been suspended for this tweet, okay? And even now, they're trying to censor me. They took away my sign, they broke my sign, they took my tweets down so that you guys can't see it. They don't want you guys to know the truth. They don't want you guys to see this, and this is exactly what they're doing to me and millions of conservatives. They're trying to ban the truth. They want to silence us. They want to ban you from seeing the truth.
Free TV.
Why else? This is a peaceful demonstration. Why else would you take down my tweets? Why are you trying to hide? Why is Twitter security trying to hide the fact that Louis Farrakhan is still allowed on Twitter, but I am banned as a Jewish conservative journalist?
They don't want to hear TM3K.
And for the members of the media who are here, take a copy of all of these verified death threats against the president, all of these verified hateful comments against white people, calls for acts of terrorism that are still on Twitter. You don't get banned for that on Twitter. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist, or if you're just a conservative intellectual or a conservative commentator, you will be banned. You will be banned.
Don't let him silence you, Laura.
Oh yes, you have to create actually.
This is the tweet that I was created for hate speech. Does this look like hate speech to you? Does this look like hate speech? Read it. This is the tweet that Twitter permanently banned me for. As opposed to that tweet, which is still on Twitter. Compare the two tweets for yourself.
Laura, go on Comtown.
This is the tree I was permanently banned for. Does that look like K Street? Why does Louis Farrakhan get to say he's not anti-Semite, he's anti-termite, and not get banned from Twitter? How come he hasn't even been suspended, but then I get shut down a week before the midterm election simply because I'm an effective, conservative investigative journalist, right? And then I get permanently banned. It's almost as if Twitter hates Jews and conservatives. It's starting to look like that. There are so many examples, right? Thousands of examples of archived tweets. If you go to my website, loomer.us, and you read my most recent article, Why I Was Banned, I have included 3 paste bins, and inside these paste bins are thousands of archived tweets from verified liberals and verified leftists who have posted assassination threats against President Trump. They've posted threats against white people. They have actually posted hateful, violent rhetoric, and it is still allowed on their Twitter. Jack Dorsey doesn't ban it. But not only was I banned, but I was also unverified. I was unverified. I was unverified. I was unverified for posting facts.
They don't like Bitcoin accounts either. What do you think about Bitcoin, Laura? Tell them what you feel.
If you're watching this, if you're on Twitter, make sure you tag Jack Dorsey. You say, #stop the bias, right? Just like the back of my sweater says. #stop the bias, guys. We need to stop the bias of conservatives. Because here in Twitter, they censor conservatives. They're very conservative Jews like myself simply because we hold facts. How is this hate speech? How is that hate speech? I want to know. How come Louis Farrakhan is still on Twitter? Do you guys hate Jews? Do you guys hate conservatives? Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done about this egregious double standard.
The negotiators.
So you can contact Jack Dorsey, and you can ask him, I want him to stop censoring conservatives. If Jack Dorsey, you can be on the phone with Jack Dorsey, and you can tell him to stop censoring conservatives, stop banning Jews like myself, and I will leave. If he realizes. So maybe you guys should, because I want to know why.
Yes.
Look at this. They're making sure with the response.
She was banned from Twitter for like what? For speaking up for free speech. She's a conservative. Well, he tweeted that against Jews, and he's still on. Oh. And she wrote that.
Is this Twitter? And I also want to know
She's coming on that board. It was basically standing up for Jews, Koreans,
Like this until Jack Dorsey.
She got banned. She's a conservative. She's a conservative. How many? Laura Loomer. Loomer. She's no longer. I won't find her on Twitter. Oh. And Facebook banned her several hours later.
Just today?
No, she didn't. She's chained herself to the door and said Jack Dorsey didn't say
Just should be on the sidewalk. But they're allowed to go? What's up?
See, the police officers now, for those of you who are watching, they're asking me how long they want me to be here because there's no way to really get these cuffs off because he's gone, right? As you can see, there's no way. So they asked me if I want to be here all night, and it's getting cold, but you know that's what it takes. That's what it takes. You know, when is Jack Dorsey going to stop censoring conservatives? When am I going to get my Twitter account back? I'll stay here as long as it takes. What happens if you get hungry? Well, like I said, I'll stay here as long as it takes.
I'll bring you a sandwich.
As long as it takes. Because this isn't just about me. It's about all of us. It's about protecting the First Amendment. It's about protecting your right to free speech. It's about raising awareness about this egregious double standard at Twitter. Where if you're a Jewish conservative journalist or if you're just a conservative in general, you're not allowed to have free speech.
You are. I know. I can tell. Yeah.
Defend me too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're banning. Raise your hand if you've been shadow banned, censored, or silenced by Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, a lot of people. Probably a lot more people watching right now.
Our press kills women are abused and forced to risk jobs on
They unbanned me now.
Getting cold out here.
Sir, sit down. Sit down.
Welcome to Twitter, where Jew hatred is okay and you get a verification mark. If you're a nosy Jew like myself, you get banned. You'll be silenced. You'll be deplatformed from the internet simply because you are a conservative or a Jew. You know, it sounds like Twitter hates Jewish people. It sounds like they hate conservatives because why is it that Islamic terrorist organizations that call for the murdering of Jews and Christians and homosexuals are allowed to have Twitter pages and Facebook pages, but I'm not allowed to, right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that kind of crazy?
Question for you. I know you guys are part of the demonstration. if you want, you see that area right there where she is? Would you like to be put into that area over there? It's not really, I mean, it's a demonstration area. It's not a, we hate to say the word pen. It's a horrible word to use. So is there anybody else with you that wants to go stand over there? Because we like to, we'll bring you over there once. The only thing we're going to ask you is, it's built out. You can stay inside of it. You can't be reaching over with her and everything else. When we ask you, all right? So if you want, we're gonna walk you over there. You can stay over there with her. Because at some point, you guys understand, we're gonna have to remove her from the door. We're not gonna make her leave, but we can give you a demonstration area. That's what our goal is gonna be. All right. So whoever wants to go, we'll walk you over there now. You'll be closer to her instead of being over here. No, we got you. We got you. I just want to make sure who you guys are with.
Okay. Well,
so you could tell me if you could tell me which group you're with. So who's in your group?
Laura's best friend. Sure. Laura.
You work for a company where they censor conservatives.
They said we could come over in the pen.
You work for an anti-Jewish company that allows for jihadis and terrorist organizations.
Inside, right?
To have Twitter accounts, and then you're shadow banning, and you're censoring, and you're banning conservatives. You guys are evil. I'm not going to leave. I'll be out here all night. I'll be out here for days if that's what it takes. You know? I want to know why I would stand on Twitter that Louis Farrakhan still has his account. It's like really cold.
Just jump. I've got 10,000 people on my Twitter, on my Periscope watching and cheering you on.
Tell them I said hello.
They've been there the whole
And
time.
this is for all of you guys. This is for all of you guys, you know, because it is enough is enough. When are our members of Congress going to do something about the silencing of conservative voices? Enough is enough, all right? There is a terrible double standard that exists at Twitter, where if you're a liberal or if you're a Muslim, you're allowed to say and do whatever you want. Whether that's calling for Jew hatred, calling Jews termites, calling for terrorist attacks, inciting jihad like Linda Sarsour, right?
You ready for the
or even calling for the assassination of President Trump. And enough is enough.
Laura,
I'm not going to leave.
What do you hope people take away from this, viewers on Twitter? What do you want them to hear from you about what you're doing?
Well, I want people to start speaking up about the censorship and the silencing and the banning of conservatives on social media. I want people to start to ask, right? Do you value free speech? Do you value living here in America, having the right to say what you want? Or do you want to live in a world where the police could come to your house and arrest you at 3 in the morning and knock on your door and throw you in jail, where you will be tortured and starved like Tommy Robinson simply for having a wrong thing, right? A thought that someone sitting in their office here in New York and Twitter, or Silicon Valley, right, with Mark Zuckerberg in California and San Francisco, if they don't like it, do you want to have your life ruined, right? They are banning people on PayPal. They are banning people. My friend Faith Goldie, for example, was banned on PayPal. They're banning people, and you're not even able to make a living now. They're cutting off people's revenue. You're ruining people's lives, Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg.
Has Jack Dorsey talked to you about being banned?
No. You know, I confronted Jack Dorsey during the Congressional hearing on September 5th, and he lied.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Allison. I'm an attorney with Loomer.
Hey.
How are you?
Nice. How are you?
Good, thank you. Do you want to be removed right now from the door? Because I know I heard that there was.
I want my Twitter.
Okay, well that we can't help you with because we don't work for Twitter.
Yeah, well, I want the silencing of conservatives to stop. That's what I want. That's the only thing I want right now is for conservatives to stop being silenced on social media. I want Jack Dorsey to stop protecting jihadis. I want Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg to stop allowing for terrorists, right? The same type of terrorists who committed 9/11 and the terrorist attack here on Halloween. I want him to stop giving social media to those people and then banning conservative Jews like myself or my conservative friends and colleagues from the internet simply because we're conservative. That's what I want.
I have one question right now, because that I can't help with. I don't work for Twitter. I don't handle who their users are, etc. I need to know right now, because if the officers told me that you can't remove yourself.
Yeah, I can.
Do you want us to cut you from the door right now?
Well, I wish I could say, but I can't say anything because Twitter and Facebook have silenced me. I wish I had an answer for you, but Twitter and Facebook have silenced me.
And whether or not you want to be here.
I wish I could say something, but Twitter and Facebook won't let me speak. Twitter and Facebook won't let me speak. I wish I could give you an answer, but Twitter and Facebook won't let me speak.
Thank you.
You're asking me my opinion, but Facebook and Twitter have said I'm not allowed to voice my opinion, so I don't have an answer. You have to take it up with Twitter and Facebook. They won't let me speak.
Do you think that you will ever get your Twitter account back?
You know, this isn't just about me getting my Twitter account back. This is about millions of conservatives worldwide who are being censored. People in the civilized West who are being censored and deplatformed. They're being censored and deplatformed. Well, you know, we need to raise awareness. Look, this is the Stop the Bias campaign, you guys. This is the Stop the Bias campaign. And if you want to make a difference, you need to start speaking up. It doesn't matter whether you're a conservative or a liberal. You need to start speaking up about this egregious double standard, because it is wrong. It is wrong in America, where this tweet will get you banned and you're deplatformed and everything that you have worked hard for is taken away from you simply because you're posting facts about Sharia law, which oppresses gays and women and Jews. But then if you're Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam, who goes overseas and chants death to America with Iranian leaders and death to President Trump, you're allowed to tweet, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite. So I want to know.
Factually
everything I tweeted is factually correct. Everything I tweeted is factually correct.
You're the face of free speech right now. What would you say to Jack if he came downstairs and talked to you?
Well, Jack Dorsey, I would say, you know, first you need to stop lying about banning and censoring conservatives. You committed perjury, which is why now you are under investigation, Jack Dorsey. You committed perjury on September 5th when you lied on taxpayer dime to our congressman and told them that you don't censor and shadow ban conservatives. You were caught on camera by Project Veritas. You liar, Jack Dorsey. Okay, and that is why I confronted you. And you need to address this. You need to issue a statement, Jack Dorsey, and explain why this tweet got me permanently banned from Twitter, and you're accusing me of promoting hate speech and hateful conduct, but then Louis Farrakhan and all of these verified liberals who I have in my pocket right here are allowed to say things like, kill white people. I hope all white people die. Someone shoot President Trump. I hope somebody assassinates Trump. Right? Jews are termites. Why is that allowed on your platform, but I am not? Do you hate Jews? Do you hate conservatives? What is it, Jack Dorsey? You know, is all of this Saudi money that you're receiving from your Sharia adherent investors at Twitter influencing you? Is that why you're banning people for posting facts about Sharia and jihad? Is that why you're banning conservatives? You know, is that why you banned Gavin? Because Gavin McGinnis spoke out about Islam? Is that why you banned Milo, a gay conservative man? Is that why you banned Chuck Johnson, Roger Stone, Tommy Robinson? Tommy Robinson was thrown in jail and tortured. He was starved. He lost 40 pounds when he was in jail, and he was harassed and abused by Muslim gang members simply because of what he was tweeting and posting on Facebook. This is a human rights violation that is being perpetuated and aided by these dictators, Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg in Silicon Valley. And I'm not leaving. I don't care how long it takes. I'm not leaving. And if I have to, I'll block both doors. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until Jack Dorsey stops the bias, stops censoring conservatives. You need to stop. And Mark Zuckerberg, you too, if you're watching this. You and Sheryl Sandberg, you guys need to stop the bias. You need to stop censoring people. Did you know that there's a veteran who went overseas? He fought for our country. He's a triple amputee. It was a story I saw, just one of the many stories. He's a triple amputee, and he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building up his social media pages. And simply because he was a conservative, Facebook banned him. They banned his page. He doesn't have limbs because he fought for our First Amendment right overseas, okay? And then these social media companies have the power to tell a triple amputee veteran who fought and almost died so that we could have our constitutional freedoms that you don't get to be on social media? You don't get to have a voice? We're going to shut you down and silence you because you're a conservative? Even though you lost 3 limbs fighting for your country so that we could have our rights. Is this even the land of the free anymore? It's egregious. that people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg have this much power that they're able to ruin people's lives like this and dictate whether a triple amputee who fought and served so that you and I could enjoy our freedoms and our rights gets to be on social media. It's disgusting. It is disgusting.
Read your tweet for us. I'm gonna read her tweet for us.
Yeah. Isn't it ironic how the Twitter moment used to celebrate women, LGBTQ, and minorities is a picture of Ilhan Omar? Ilhan is pro-Sharia. Ilhan is pro-FGM. Under Sharia, homosexuals are oppressed and killed. Women are abused and forced to wear the hijab. Ilhan is anti-Jewish. Ilhan is anti-Jewish. Jack Dorsey is enforcing Sharia. Jack Dorsey is enforcing Sharia. No, I cannot.
Ma'am, you can't block the entrance.
Why? Twitter blocks me. Facebook. Twitter blocks me.
This is a
Twitter
public
blocks.
safety
Yeah,
problem.
Twitter blocks me. It's a public safety issue when you're banning people from raising awareness about jihad and Sharia in America. It's a public safety issue when you give verified social media accounts to terrorist organizations and members of Antifa. It's a public safety issue that Antifa is working with Twitter and Facebook. That is a public safety issue. That's a public safety issue.
Hello, Laura. Hey, I'm medical. I just want to know, are you okay?
I'm fine. It's a little cold out here, but I'm great.
All right. Just checking with you.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, look, it's freezing, but I'm willing to be out here as long as it takes.
Okay.
You guys don't have to contact Jack Dorsey. I mean, Jack Dorsey blocked me. He banned me. And I think, you know. So.
Sounds appropriate. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Go ask Jack Dorsey when he's going to stop. I just want to know.
Thank you guys for honoring me first.
When is Jack Dorsey going to stop banning and silencing conservatives?
Who do you think will be banned from Twitter next?
Well, it could be you. Any of you guys could be next. It could be any of you. You don't even have to be a conservative. You could just be posting facts and some person sitting in their desk here in New York City or in Silicon Valley can decide, you know what, I don't like this person. I don't like that they like Trump. I don't like that they think there's only two genders. I don't like that they think that it's wrong to kill Jews and Christians. Deleted. You're banned. Everything that you've ever worked for is gone. Boom. With one click, you're not even allowed to use social media. So it could be any of us. It could be President Trump. I mean, hey, didn't some Twitter employee admit to deleting President Trump's Twitter account for like 11 minutes this past year? Even the President of the United States is being shadow banned and censored and deleted off social media. Can you believe it? In America. That's how much power Jack Dorsey has. So you need to ask yourself, to the members of Congress and even President Trump, if you're watching right now, do you think that it's right for these social media companies to have that much power? Should Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg have the power to eradicate Jews, eradicate Christians, eradicate the President of the United States from social media simply because they disagree with your opinion? This is a conversation we all need to have. Is it okay for these social media companies to decide that you're not allowed to have an income anymore and shut down PayPal so that you're not allowed to have money? Are we supposed to be homeless?
Your outlets were mainly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but you have been permanently banned from Twitter. You've been temporarily banned from Facebook. So
yeah,
how are you
but I'm always getting temporarily banned. Well, this is my message now. I mean, that's the thing is I have my website. You can subscribe to my website, LauraLoomer.us. But, you know, that's the thing. I had 265,000 followers on Twitter. And all of those people I built relationships with and friendships with, I'm never going to be able to communicate with them again because they're just gone. With a click of a button, that's how much influence these people have. I mean, there are people who I was trying to help, people who live in Iran, people who live in other places of the world. There are women, there are Muslim women who are messaging me on Twitter telling me how they want to escape Islam because they're being beaten by their fathers and their brothers. And I would communicate with them over my Twitter DMs. And now I don't have access to that anymore. And I'm not able to help these people. I'm not able to use my platform to help these people anymore because Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg decided to delete it.
Because they're scared of you.
There are also a lot of fake Laura Loomer accounts on Twitter now because you're no longer there and it's not verified, and they're pretending to be you on Twitter.
I don't have any alternative accounts.
Kick it over here, Laura.
Kick
it over here. Thank you.
I don't have any alternative Twitter accounts.
This is an issue of free speech. This is an issue of First Amendment rights, and you may be free to tweet about this because
so cold out here.
Jump up and down.
Do you have your gloves?
I think so. Yeah.
We all need to stay together.
Use those. Would you like some water?
Yeah. Thanks.
Laura, I have snacks.
So,
I have snacks. I have nuts.
If you were to go back, would you have changed your tweet in any way, or would you have tweeted something different?
I'm going to block your live stream.
No, because it's a truth. Why should I have to modify myself? Why should I have to make myself Sharia adherent? The only reason why I was banned is because I posted facts about Islam, because I criticized Islam. I criticized female genital mutilation. And in Islam, if you criticize Islam, you know, you get a punishment of death, and that's basically the punishment that Twitter gave me. They deleted my account. They killed my account.
Has Twitter taken
That's the enforcement.
Has Twitter taken down any accounts on the left? Anyone
No.
who speaks out on the
No,
left?
let me show you. Can you hold this for me, please?
It's actually better.
We're gonna find out in a minute.
Watch.
Thank you, guys.
Here are pages, and you can take some copies of this. And you go to my website, go to lauraloomer.us, because it's hard for you to see. You're not going to be able to see this, but go to lauraloomer.us and click on my most recent article, Why I Was Banned. And when you click on the article, you're going to see a section that has archived paste bins that have verified tweets from verified users on Twitter who are mostly liberals and Muslims, and they include things like assassination threats against the president, anti-white tweets calling for genocide. And those are allowed. Those are all still on Twitter. Louis Farrakhan's tweet is still on Twitter. So go on my website and you can see, if you're a reporter and you're watching, go take a look, because we need to have a conversation in this country. I think Jack Dorsey really needs to issue a statement and address this. Why are you allowed to call for jihad? Why are you allowed to say kill all white people? Why are you allowed to say I hope someone kills President Trump, or I want to assassinate the president? You know, you can go to jail for that in this country, but you're not allowed to post facts as a Jewish conservative journalist. You're not allowed to post facts as a conservative. You're not allowed to even exist as a conservative. But if you're a Democrat, you're allowed to post all the death threats and violence that you want.
Why are you wearing the Jewish star on your sweater?
Right? Because this is equivalent to, you know, it's like modern day book burning. It's like what the Nazis did during the time of the Holocaust, you know, where they decided to commit acts of political warfare against a group of people. And if you associated with those people, if you associated with the Jews, you were killed. That's what they're doing too. Do you know they're trying to regulate your behavior?
Can I talk to you for 1 second?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, Twitter is not pressing charges against you. So you're allowed to protest here. We're going to leave. You're not allowed to block the entrance to or block the exit out of. Once you don't allow people to enter into or exit out of the building, that's another issue, and we'll be back. And if you decide that you want to remove yourself from the door, you can contact 911. There's going to be some officers left here also. You can reach them. But I know you can't unlock yourself, so they can assist you at that time. All right?
Okay, take care. Thanks. You too. Like I said, as long as it takes. As long as it takes, you guys. As long as it takes.
Are you surprised they're not pressing charges against you?
Well, I mean, look, what is Twitter? This is not an issue of like whether I didn't come here today to have Twitter press charges against me. I came here today to raise awareness about the fact that there is bias. There's a clear-cut bias, and there is censorship of conservatives. There is censorship of Jews like myself, right? So, you know, look. No, my feet are a little cold, but you know, I'm going to be out here as long as it takes, because we need our representatives to issue statements about this. We need people to hold Jack Dorsey accountable. He committed perjury. He lied to Congress. That's a crime. Okay? People are posting assassination threats against the president. If you go on my website and you look at those archived tweets, you will see for yourself. You will see for yourself all of the evidence. You will see it.
If you want to tweet about this, you can tweet #StopTheBias.
Learn stuff.
When they stop silencing conservatives. I'm not out here just for the sake of handcuffing myself to the door. I'm out here. I want real changes. I want real changes. This isn't about me. This is about all of us, okay? This is about censorship of conservatives. This is about people being persecuted. We have it really good here in America, but what about people like Tommy Robinson who are being jailed? And, in the UK, you could be jailed for your tweets.
If you need us, call us back. Okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Have a great night, officer.
Thanks for everything. Oh, you guys are great.
We'd rather deal with what you say. We don't have to
Listen, we're on the right. No, I'm not saying I'm just saying the hot. I just I'm making the real more comfortable with it.
Why? I'm being silenced. Everywhere you go in America, people want to silence you. Everywhere you go, they want to silence your tweets. They want to silence your voice. I thought we had free speech in this country.
Man, you have free speech. You just can't use the recording device. That's all.
So I can't use a recording device. I can't use my Twitter.
But there's nothing in the First Amendment that says anything about volume.
I can't use my Facebook. Doesn't sound like free speech to me.
No, we're not silencing you. We're just saying you can't use that.
You are though. You're not letting me amplify my message.
Laura, Trump is tweeting right now. He's on Twitter. If you could say something to him, what would you say?
Well, I would say, President Donald Trump, this is, my second plea to you. Please do something before it is too late, because your supporters and conservatives all around the world, people who admire you, people who look at you as a symbol of hope, a beacon of light for Western civilization, right? They are being silenced just for being your supporter. They are being silenced and shut down on social media because these social media companies are out of control. There's a clear-cut bias, and Silicon Valley is using its power and its dominance and its monopolistic control over technology to silence and ban conservatives from the digital public square. And you saw how this impacted the recent election, right? When I confronted Jack Dorsey in Congress when he testified with Zuckerberg on September 5th, I warned you. I said that the Democrats were going to try to steal the election with the help of Twitter and Facebook. They were going to silence and shut down conservatives. In the days and the weeks prior to the election, Facebook deleted thousands of conservative news sites, conservative pages. Some of them had millions of followers, right? I mean, they're just banning these people. And those are millions of people who are now being cut off from conservative thought. And now they're not even allowed to post their thoughts or post their investigations, their videos. I'm a conservative journalist. I'm a Jew, and I spend my time investigating and confronting a lot of these high-profile Democrats and exposing jihadis and these congresswomen. And I was banned a week prior to the midterm election because I exposed Linda Sarsour, because I exposed Andrew Gillum, because I exposed Stacey Abrams, right? Simply for doing my job. And as a journalist, right, you have to be able to use social media. You have to have access to social media in order to do your job as a journalist. When you go to work anywhere, they make it a requirement. And so now all these people, all these conservatives are being disenfranchised on a social level, a political level, a professional level, an economic level, simply because two guys, Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, have decided that they don't want conservatives to have a voice. And I think it's really wrong that there are conservatives who are being driven into homelessness because these companies have such a tight grip on this monopoly, right? That Facebook is shutting down their businesses online. They're monitoring people. They're selling our data. They're tracking you. They're trying to ruin your life. They're allowing for you to be doxxed if you're a conservative. If you were to dox somebody as a conservative on social media, your account would be banned immediately. But liberals who doxed Tucker Carlson at Fox News, they were allowed to post his address and nothing happened. Twitter didn't punish any of the people. In fact, there were people who were posting screenshots of their messages, reporting them to Twitter, and Twitter said, oh, this isn't a violation of terms of service. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's a violation of terms of service if a conservative does it, but it's not if a Democrat does it. Yeah, it's a political bias, and Jack Dorsey committed perjury, and something needs to be done about it. I don't know. I don't really care what happens, though. Well, let's find out. Why not? Why not? Why? I don't understand why I'm not allowed to amplify my message. I'm just warning people.
Yeah, it's a sound violation in New York City. You need a sound. So you can get at the precinct whatever you want, but you have to request that.
So this is a sound violation, but if you walk down the streets and you go to any mosque nearby in any Jewish conservative journalist trying to expose how the Silicon Valley promotes Sharia, it's yeah, talk about a sound violation. I just look, there's
sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Giving fascism a platform is really good, by the way. They really like it when all of you are like going to interview Laura and think that she has really nice things to say. It's really cool. It's just really good. Keep it up. Good job, media.
The only reason that Trump was able to be elected was he did.
yeah, exactly. That's the only reason why Trump was able to win is because there was a social media revolution. They're calling me a Nazi over there. That's the thing they do to try to justify this. They say I'm a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. You know, Jack Dorsey, he posted a picture of me when he unverified me and accused me of being a white supremacist. I am not a white supremacist, you know? And it's really disgusting that these social media companies have so much power that they are able to basically warn people's lives and defame them forever, preventing them from ever getting a job. There are so many people in this country, conservatives, right, who are never going to be able to get a job now because Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg have smeared them as being white supremacists or Nazis. There are people who have actually committed suicide because of this. Can you believe it? They're ruining people's lives, and I want our members of Congress, I want President Trump to do something about this before it is too late. We need to stop the bias. We need to stop the bias and the censorship of conservatives on social media. We need to stop the bias.
So if you're watching
can you unpack it a bit more? Because clearly it was so incendiary that when Twitter saw it, they felt like he should be banned for life because of this tweet. So for those watching who don't know a lot about what you're referring to in this tweet, can you explain this?
Yeah, and you can grab the other tweet too, so you can see the Farrakhan tweet.
The Farrakhan tweet says, "I'm not
an anti-Semite. I'm anti-termite."
Laura, what will you do if they bring big cutters, metal cutters?
Well, I'm not leaving, so I'm not going to leave until they're going to have to cut me off, I guess. But like I said, you know, you have to make sacrifices, and I'm making a sacrifice for the millions of conservatives worldwide who are being silenced and shut down. This isn't just about me. I am just one example. I am just one example, and people knew who I was because I had 265,000 followers. But there are people all around the world. Every single day they're being silenced by Trump. Other Jews who are trying to expose issues of terrorism. I have seen so many examples of Jewish journalists and people like Pamela Geller, for example, Jamie Glassoff, Robert Spencer being banned from Facebook and Twitter simply because they post facts. Simply because they post facts. On your scope?
But I'm running out of both my battery packs.
I have one. Yeah.
Like everybody's before it goes out. Or do one of your friends?
They probably have one. Here, do you have a battery pack? Like a external? It's in my purse. It's in my purse. Give it to her. It's in that red bag.
It would be awesome.
Here, give her my external.
Any questions for Laura? Let us know.
Stop the bias, Jack. How come none of the members of the media want to pick up these verified hateful messages on the ground? It really makes you wonder. You know, I brought copies, I brought evidence with me for the press. When are they going to stop turning a blind eye to all of this leftist verified hatred on
Thank you guys for coming out.
Sorry.
Hey, Laura. I don't like you. They do. You can probably do a good thing.
Thank you.
You're chaotic neutral, Laura. You're good for entertainment. So keep it going.
It's okay.
Good Twitter father. We love it.
That's why nobody have free speech to get away
The
with it.
horseshit theory is real because we're both enjoying your actions, but I just don't like the political ideology behind what you're doing. But like it's entertainment. It's a real good shit show, my dude. Do you want any like milk or like cookies or stuff like that?
So when the right protests, it's a shit show, but when the left
Yeah, so why is it that when the right protests, it's a shit show, but Bill de Blasio, right, he tells you guys to stand down when Antifa shows up. When Antifa smashed one of my Trump-supporting friends' faces open with a beer bottle because he was wearing a MAGA hat here, you guys stood down. And look, I support the police, but Bill de Blasio tells you guys to call this a shit show, right? But then when Antifa comes by and they want to protest President Trump, or if they want to protest conservatives or have their anti-ICE rallies, right? That's acceptable, right? That's acceptable because Bill de Blasio allows for that here in New York City. Okay. That's the kind of protest that you like. How many times has Linda Sarsour been arrested in New York City before, right? She's a jihadi, though, and we are talking about Sharia, right? So she's allowed to.
This is Laura's jacket. I'm helping out. We're going to be breaking the barriers down, that's why. Thank you very much. As far as the
fences and stuff, so I guess.
Zero. I'll be back zero.
But the police are moving.
Excuse me, folks.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
For what you're doing. Because we need army of people like you. Otherwise, I'm gonna be reversed back to where I escaped from.
Tell the people on the scope.
Well, I escaped from Czechoslovakia when it was communist, like 1982. So I've been living.
Were you able to speak your mind there?
In communism, no. Government controls speech, and basically press is controlled, and in mouth form it's here. Trump is trying to actually notify us because press is basically, you have to check who owns the press, right? And what these people working towards. So I'm grateful for her that she does what she does. Otherwise, I view it, I'm really horrified because I see it, if we don't have people like her, I'm going to be reversed into a country that I escaped from.
Thank you.
So, amen.
I know, and that's why I'm here, and I want you to know I give you a lot of credit. There's a lot of negativity. I don't want you to stop. The only thing I ask of you from my heart is let us know more so that we can support.
Yeah. Well, take copies of it. Take copies of my statements and share
my jacket? You know what, see, I follow you, but let me take them so that I can let the world know I'm on it. I really won't, and I love you, okay? And be safe, you hear me?
Thank you.
And look for me. It's Susan Miller.
Thank you. Take copies of it, please. Share it. Share the message.
Folks, you can't block the sidewalks, you can't block the entrance.
We respect y'all. Yeah. I do a great job. You want my jacket?
Where she says it's a bunch of people talking about hating white people.
Oh, you guess you should be upset about that. Why wouldn't you be upset about people talking about hating white people?
Tweeting out a bunch of tweets that no one will ever read to own the libs.
Would you, do you mind holding this and maybe doing the crowd a little bit?
Well, I appreciate the effort.
Hey, you're connected.
just gonna do this for like the noise. Over the news, watch out, please. That's it.
You guys, you gotta find out this free barrier because you can't block the entrance.
Free speech Laura. Free speech Laura. That's right.
I'll see my sign so
You don't have nobody have free speech. Nobody. Nobody have free speech. If somebody don't stand up and speak out, nobody have free speech.
I guess leftists aren't allowed to defile Wall Street centers because this is one way and not
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Here. Take this back. Get back up there.
Didn't get an answer.
Wants to block me. I'll block Jack Dorsey.
Star of David because being banned from Twitter is every bit as bad as the Holocaust. What the hell?
You're not even understanding
banned
what's
from
going on.
Twitter
I was
is
sticking
you're
up for
wearing a
Jews.
yellow star.
Because
You are a Jew in the concentration camp.
Because I am Jewish and I was sticking up for Jew hatred.
Yeah, so am I, and I'm offended by this shit.
Are you offended by Louis Farrakhan's
No, I'm offended because she's in a
Are
fucking
you offended
She
by
has a
Louis
right.
Farrakhan's
I'm here to laugh at her.
Jack Dorsey?
I am. I'm also here to use my right to free speech and say, hey, it's weird to wear a Star of David as a symbol of concentration.
We got your back, Laura. We got your back. Believe that.
You're saying you're Jewish, then why aren't you speaking out about Louis Farrakhan's tweet? I was defending Jews and women.
He's a liberal Jew. There's a difference between a liberal Jew and
I was sticking up for gays and women and Jews, okay, and Christians.
Speaking as someone who's
I stick up for what's right. What the holy book was. Jesus Christ said that's what I stick up for. Not gays, not nobody, but I don't hate gay. I got gay friends and all that, but I do not support that.
They love your politics.
I don't support that.
I'm sure they're just I'm absolutely 100% sure.
That's because you don't mean you do.
Loves this set of politics and loves this set of politics. Yeah, they're really into conservatism. They're into the fucking politics. That will end up in the deaths of people. Of course it will. Okay.
I do not hate no gay. I don't hate no gay. I don't support that, but it's your right to do what you do. But I don't support that. As a Christian, I don't support that, and I'm going to speak out about it. I'm never going to talk about it. I go to the grave. I don't support that.
I think there's an egregious double standard. I think Jack Dorsey really needs to explain why people like myself are some of the things I say.
I don't love that lifestyle.
Terrorist organization.
I don't like that lifestyle, but I love you as a person.
So you don't like anybody?
I love everybody.
Do you not know that you're living in the time where people actually get that?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They do.
That needed. Poor people that need health care before Obamacare came out was already given.
Obamacare has blocked off 20. And why would you want that? Why would you want that?
Hold on.
You got homelessness in 0 states.
He said, why would I want that? I never said out of my mouth that I want that. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not trying to put words in my mouth.
No.
He's not going to put words in my mouth. Because he put words in my mouth. He got